Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is LimBryn and today we are starting the exact same way we started last episode, which is with some ancient debris mining. But this time it's going to be a little bit more fun. Last week, I did it with bed mining and it took forever and didn't get me much ancient debris. But this time it's going to take a lot less time and hopefully get me a lot more. There we go. Okay, that is going. Okay, it looks like it's finished, and I haven't seen any ancient debris yet, which mildly worries me. Nope, never mind. We got the first vein. It looks like a tour. Hopefully we get more than that, but two is still pretty good, and that is enough to upgrade one piece of armor, because I already have a little bit back at my base. And if that is all we got from almost a stack of TNT, that's going to be a little disappointing, but I haven't checked the entire tunnel yet. Okay, I did in fact only get two ancient debris from this entire tunnel, which is ridiculous. But I guess whatever, we'll just do another one. I have more TNT. Um, that's a little absurd. I'm very shocked. Normally this gets me a lot more. Attempt number two. Here we go. This one better get me more than two ancient debris, because that first one was a letdown and that hurt, but we already got one. So this is a good start. We better this better not be it. Okay, it has stopped. We appear to have gotten one from this first little bit of mining. Also, I've just realized I think I put this too far down. Yeah, it's a little bit too far down. Anyway, I'm just gonna continue anyway and pretend like I didn't do that. It doesn't matter too much, but 15 is better for ancient debris than any other level, and the TNT is at 12. So it's a little bit farther down than I'd like it to be, but it should still be fine. It's already yielded as much as the other one. That is two ancient debris. And did it stop again? I have a feeling it stopped again, but I'm going to gather all the ancient debris in this section first. We're at a total of 4. Let's keep going. And that is hopefully going to just actually... No, I spoke too soon. It did not actually continue to go. That one's just going to fall. Oh, or not. We're good. Okay. Why is this, like, the most fun thing to do in Minecraft? Oh my... there's so much ancient debris. Okay, that's 2 more pieces. And that is all of my tools and armor fully done up in netherite. I can finally get the achievement Cover Me in Debris, which is one of my favorite because it just sounds very funny. I also have my, like, fortune shovel and axe, which I don't really need, but I had extra netherite, so I did those as well. And that is, yeah, I have no diamond tools left. That's quite cool. So, in the last episode, we ended it off by pretty much saying I'll build a sugarcane farm in between episodes, and I have gone and done that. It's not quite done yet because it is only, like, it's just a bunch of sugarcane, it's not fully automatic, but I do have an idea to make it fully automatic later. I just don't have the resources right now. Essentially, I want to make a slime flying machine that just, like, goes across this and harvests it, and then have hoppers underneath all of the grass that it's on to actually collect the items. And I think that could work at least, like, semi-decently, and it could look pretty cool. So I'm gonna wait to make this fully automatic until I can do something like that. And the reason it's all the way over here is because I do plan on populating this entire valley at some point. And while you can't really see it because of all the bamboo, there's kind of a lot of little, like, shelves on this hill, and I want to fill all of them with, like, a different crop. So I'll have one for bamboo, one for wheat, one for beetroot, all that type of stuff. And I think that could be a really cool, like, farming district for the city. So yeah, that's why I've done this here, and I think I want to do a couple more of them. Because, like I said, it's not really fully done functionally or aesthetically, because it still is a bit ugly, like, underneath it and stuff. So I think the first thing I want to do in this episode is actually flush out a little bit more of this area, get a couple more farms in here, probably for, like, wheat and stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna build a couple more of these weird little plateau things, and we'll see how it goes. So as it turns out, this hill is a lot less plateauy than I thought it was, which is why I'm doing a progress update here, because it has taken me a while to get these 6 plateaus here, because the hill was actually relatively smooth. But I think it now looks pretty good. I have one for each of the different remaining types of crops. We have like melons, pumpkins, wheat, beetroot, carrot, potato, and that will fill up all 6 of these. Yep, all 6. Yep. I was about to say 7, then I realized it is 6. I can count. That is the 7th. But now there's a lot of work still to do because they're very ugly, and a lot of them, like this one down here, is literally just one layer of dirt. So I have to add like railings and stuff like I have with this one, and I have to actually, you know, terrain the stuff underneath it to look. I really like this part as like a little bit of a recess, so it's kind of like a retaining wall for the dirt or something. I really like that look, so I'm gonna try and replicate that on the rest of the platforms. Get some jungle wood in there, just try and make it look generally a bit nicer, because currently it's quite a bit ugly. That turned out so much better than I thought it would. I really love how this thing looks. I've kind of covered it all in farmland, as well as given it these railings everywhere, and it looks so good. And there's only really one step left, which is to put crops in. Although there are still a couple like empty spaces, even if I were to put crops in. I hope you guys can see my mouse right now. But I want to put some stuff over here, like some storage for crops that have been grown. I want to put a farmer's hut down in the like bottom middle section right there. Storage area will be right there in case you can't see my mouse. So yeah, but first I'm going to put seeds in so they can get growing while I'm doing all that. And I want to try something. I'm going to do a time lapse of me planting seeds. Actually, no. We're going to do a time lapse of seeds growing. And we're going to see if it turns out well. And if it doesn't, it won't be in the video, so you'll know pretty quick. I'd say that looks pretty good, and hopefully that time lapse was nice and satisfying with some plants growing. And I think, yeah, a couple monsters spawned and ruined some of it, but almost all of the plants are fully grown now. I did cut it a little bit short just because these last few were taking forever, so I just didn't. And sadly, I've realized a fault in the way I've planted the pumpkins and melons, which is they're just not gonna fully occupy their field because of things like this happening, and that did not break anything, which is a miracle. Like, they just all grow away from this one. So yeah, there's little issues like that with it, but other than that, I think it's pretty much perfect. I mean, those are really just me being super nitpicky. But now that we have some nice fields, I think we need some people to tend to those fields, and places for said people to live, as in like 1 or 2 people, because there's only really 2 great spots for a little farming hut. I want to build one here, and I want to build something here. I'm not sure which one will be a farmer's hut, or if one of them will be like storage or something. We're going to put some buildings to go along with the fields, so let's do it. Well, I haven't done all the things that I said I'd do, but I've been working on this for a while, so I thought I'd do a progress report. I've gone ahead and made a little like storage area over here, kind of in the central spot that was a little blank. I've had some melons, some wheat, and these are supposed to be like potatoes, I guess. I think it works pretty well. But I've just kind of flattened out this area, textured the floor and stuff. I've also added these paths everywhere that connect all of the different farms, and I think that's just like a nice little touch because it's functional, because I will be using these if I ever need, you know, actual farming stuff, but also it just kind of makes sense that they'd be connected by paths. So yeah, I've added those, and the only thing left to do now is really to build the farmer's hut right in this area, which I haven't really thought about too much, so I'm just going to go ahead and freestyle it and see how it turns out. I literally threw that thought out the window the second I said it, because I have been designing and planning this thing for literally a week, and this is the result, and I love it. But also I spent way too much time thinking about this build, and the reason for that is I want to still be like in the style of Parrotkeep with like the buildings over here and stuff, but also it's a farmer's hut, so it's not going to be built with expensive materials like copper, so instead it is wood and dirt and kelp. And I love how this thing turned out. It's amazing, and yes, it did actually take me a week to do this, which is kind of like disappointing because I haven't even done an interior yet. But like I said, absolutely love how this thing turned out. I tried to make it nice and like ruined and stuff, so it looks kind of patched up, because this is a kind of poor farmer that just tends the fields and doesn't have a lot of money for that, just because that is kind of how farmers' lives go in medieval times. But anyway, I've also hooked up to the paths, and I made this little patio area up here with some more storage for just like crops and also a composter. And I think that's like kind of that's it. That's all I've done. It did take me a week, but that's all I've done. Um, yeah, so I suppose the next step is let's do an interior to this. It's not going to be too complicated. So let's just do it. Well, that is a nice quaint little interior. It's very simple, like I said. It doesn't really need much because all the workplaces are outside of the building. But you may notice this is actually the upstairs to the building, and the rest of it is completely unfinished. And that is because I want to have some amount of functional stuff to this build, because while it's partially functional with like the wheat farms and stuff, and I have used this as a sugarcane farm once. During that one time, I realized you only get like a stack and a half of sugarcane when you harvest this, which is not even enough for a full box of rockets. So I want to actually make some better sugarcane farms in this building, which is what's going to go down here. It's essentially going to be a storage room and maybe some like glass so you can actually see the farm functioning, because I kind of like doing that type of thing. Not really sure what design I'm going to build, but any design needs a big hole, so that's what I'm going to do next. Have you ever wanted your entire empty inventory to be instantly filled up with stone? Well, now you can with a giant pile of stone that I've put in the corner of this hole I dug. I don't really know why I do this every time, but it brings me joy, so you know. But anyway, we have a giant hole, so I guess let's build a farm. So I maybe went just a little bit overboard. This is just about the most efficient sugarcane farm that you can build, prior to them fixing zero ticking. But this thing will produce me way more sugarcane than I could ever need. Literally in the amount of time between me finishing the farm and starting the clip, I have gotten 57 sugarcane. So this should fit all of my needs perfectly, and I've built in a place that I can put a window right here so you can see at least part of the farm, because I think it looks at least kind of cool and you can see it functioning and stuff. But it's not quite done. I have to build a storage system, which is what these 3 blocks represent. So let's go ahead and do that. That's the storage system done. I guess the next step is actually finish up the interior, because quite a bit ugly right now. And also, I forgot to mention this in the last clip. This farm is designed by TangoTek, and if you want to build it for yourself, I will link his video about it in the description below. But anyway, let's do an interior, again. That is much better. I've kind of completed the interior, just did some basic stuff. Everything but this wall is done, because this wall is going to be just like that one, which is it's going to be a wall of chests. But I decided I didn't really need 18 double chests for storage for the sugarcane farm. Also, it spawns monsters sometimes, I've realized, after making it dark. But I think I might put like a cactus farm in here or something. Just something to fill that wall, another farm. But like I said, 9 double chests of sugarcane is definitely enough. And also, because I apparently just am obsessed with rates now, this is how much this farm makes in 1 hour. And I believe I put the rest of the sugarcane here. And we already have kind of a lot. But like I said, this farm is ridiculously efficient, so that is what I expected. I'm not sure I'm going to fix this issue. I really like how it looks when it's dark, for the reason of when the pistons fire, a little bit of light comes into the thing because there's light behind the pistons, which I think is a really cool effect. And that requires it to be dark. And also, I've just realized you guys probably can't see anything in there because the recording is a lot darker than the actual game. But yeah, it's still there. It's just behind tinted glass. And now, that piece of tinted glass is, yeah, there we go. But yeah, occasionally the pistons open and then some light comes in, but it's not that often, as you can see. But yeah, that's the interior of this nice little hut, completely done. Well, with all of this done, I think I'm just going to go ahead and do a cactus farm, because I have needed green dye for this roof like several times in this episode, and I've just had to fly over to the desert that's over there and gather some cactus because I don't have any. So it should be really nice to have this. It's a very simple farm, so I'm going to just kind of go ahead and do it. And there we go. We got a nice little cactus farm in this building now, and I'm not going to bother doing an hourly rate for this one because it is so slow that it'd probably be like a stack or something. But it should suffice for all of my cactus needs, because I pretty much only need green dye for this type of roof ever. So that should be more than enough. And I think that is pretty much the last thing I want to do in this episode. Although there is one more thing, because I have made a lot of very visual progress today, so I want to update the map over here. Now, the map currently doesn't really include a lot of that area. Well, it includes some of it in this map, but I want to make this a 9x9 anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and get 5 more maps, because then we can actually see the fullness of the crop fields. There we go. We got all 5 new maps, and a lot of it is water, but we can now see the entirety of Parrotkeep, and I do have to update this middle one because it has quite a lot of the crop fields on it, and that looks pretty good. I mean, it's kind of underwhelming, and actually it doesn't seem to have updated fully, probably because I'm not really anywhere near them. But there we go, now they're all on there. It is kind of just a bunch of green patches, but I still think it looks cool. It's a nice addition to the map. And also, we can now see the boat, which looks decent, actually, on the map. I kind of expected it to look worse than that. But we can see the boat, we can see the crop fields, and I really like this thing. I wish I could have it not need, like, this corner just for the tiny little bit of stone that's there. But, you know, whatever. So yeah, that's the map done, and with that, I think I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here. So, like if you liked, subscribe if you like it. Have a great day. As always, bye-bye.